There's a different type of feeling amongst the youngsters today from what it was years ago.
There's time to play, time to be boys. And the boys cannot wait to be men. They don't know yet whether men fight or just go under. They're raised in a proud image. The Bronx is here, and the Bronx is now.
I came to the Bronx in 2000 when Julian was 1 year old. Being a mom in the 21st century is very hard, especially in this city. The school that was zoned for where we lived it's not what I wanted for my child.
Cardinal Hayes High School has been almost like an anchor to this neighborhood of the South Bronx. It opened up on September 8th, 1941, and the vision was to create a place for young men to mold their lives.
I was suspended from my public school for my last fight. My math teacher conspired to have me sit for a test that resulted in me attending Cardinal Hayes High School the next year. I knew that this was an opportunity. What I didn't know was how ready or not I was for the opportunity.
I think that the role of the Catholic high schools in the 60s were actually very similar to what our current role is today in terms of seeing the schools as change agents, something that's going to make a vital difference in their sons' lives. They wanted their sons to have an opportunity perhaps that they didn't have to go on to college and to do things far beyond the capabilities of their life.
The minute I stepped in the building, I saw one of the varsity football players with that varsity jacket, and just the vibe, the confidence that he exuded sold me.
The first time that I realized Cardinal Hayes was making a significant impact in my life was sophomore year, hanging out with not the best crowd at home, not really focusing on my studies. And it wasn't until my teachers and my guidance counselor sat me down and showed me what my life would look like if I continued down the path. My name is Hector Jimenez. I graduated class of 1995.
For many of our young men who come here, there is not a lot of stability in their lives. I think when they come in the doors in the morning, they're safe, they're happy, they know the routine.
I wanted a school that would present itself in a fine way and would lead their men to be mature ones, and to help them when they leave to make good choices and to be leaders. And I thought that this was the one school that did that.
I stand at the front door of the school every morning, and that's not to make sure that they're disciplined or dressed appropriate. I want to make sure that they're greeted. What these young men are getting here at Hayes is going to impact them for the rest of their lives.
Our coach began to talk about things like competing in the Ivy League. What's the Ivy League? And then I connect competing in the Ivy League with having the academic qualifications that looked like my teammates had, and that became a goal of mine.
It reinforced that family vibe. It was the relationships that I developed throughout my athletic career here at Hayes. You can't put a value on it.
There's a lot of different people here who support you and always want to see you do your best, and the brothers that you make here, they're always pushing you to be your best, and you push them.
I sensed it immediately because there was a discipline that was going to be adhered to, and I needed it desperately. And I will thank God for it happening.
I spent a couple of occasions in Jug. While I can't remember specifically why I ended up there, as all other individuals in Jug, I was always innocent.
I think, like most of my classmates, we chafed under the idea of having to wear this jacket and this tie thing that we wore, and we had to have no facial hair and low-cut hair. But I think if you were to give each of us truth serum, we'd all say that despite our complaints, the dress code was a point of pride in our 13, 14-year-old mind's eye. And certainly by the time we graduated, we understood what it meant.
I think the future is very bright for us because we have dedicated teachers. We have a staff of Cardinal Hayes High School that's so dedicated to the students and to the future of Hayes.
I had a student who was in 2 of my math classes, and at the end of the year, he said, after having you for 6 months, I really want to be a math teacher. And I was like, wow. Like, it just felt really nice.
Our biggest challenge is to stay financially viable in an economic environment that is extremely challenging.
The support of our alumni is the lifeblood for the school. We rely on our almost 29,000 graduates of Cardinal Hayes High School who have passed through these walls. We rely on the fact that they remember.
I see our responsibility as alumni to give back to a place that has given so much to us. And each person has to define that the way they see fit. I would believe that most graduates of Cardinal Hayes High School would say that Cardinal Hayes High School was a critical element in crafting their lives as successful husbands, fathers, employees, and whatever, community citizens. Give back the way you can to enable this next generation to get some of the benefits that we all have been fortunate to receive from this wonderful institution.
He started his sophomore year, and it was really hard on us. We had other obligations as well with family members, and it was to the point where we were deciding would we even be able to finish the year for him. And I get emotional, sorry.
My mother didn't know, but I was secretly trying to get a job outside of school so I can just help her with the tuition. Any $100 I could make or whatever, doing something, I can just give it her. So just give her that kind of relief off her shoulders. Someone called the classroom and he said, Julian, the admission office wants you. So I went to the admission office, and Mr. Lessa, he said that I was a candidate to take part of this scholarship.
Julian informed me that him and some students were chosen for possible scholarship. And he informed me a little bit, and then he told me he was interviewed by a gentleman, Hector Jimenez.
I decided to start the scholarship because I felt professionally and personally I was at a point where it was my turn to give back. It was my turn to provide the same opportunity that my parents had afforded me to another individual. So I interviewed a number of individuals, and we came to the decision, both myself and the alumni office, to move forward with the first recipient of the scholarship.
I felt a relief. I was trying to find different ways to tell her, and then it was just something just told me to tell her now because she's been waiting this whole time.
And I remember it was October 28th. I was in the kitchen making dinner.
And I was like, Ma, here. And I had a little post stamp, and then it said, congratulations, you've been chosen. And she just started crying for a long time.
Affirmation for me that things are possible and not to give up.
It's important for Cardinal Hayes to continue to be at 650 Grand Concourse, because if we're not here, the young men of this area aren't going to have the options that they need to be successful.
I would not like to think of what the world would be like without Cardinal Hayes High School. I think it's a vital institution to the community that it serves, to the Catholic Church, and to New York City.
When our graduates go forward and do something great in the world today, when they change the world for the better, then we've done our job again. When they have influenced others for good, we've done our job.
There aren't many other places that can do what Hayes does. There aren't many other places. And shame on us if we can't preserve the uniqueness of what Hayes has to offer to the community, if not the world.
There's a different type of feeling amongst the youngsters today from what it was years ago.
There's time to play, time to be boys. And the boys cannot wait to be men. They don't know yet whether men fight or just go under. They're raised in a proud image. The Bronx is here, and the Bronx is now.
A number of years ago, the alumni of Cardinal Hayes High School created the Cardinal and Gold Fund, which would support the efforts of Cardinal Hayes High School. As the support from the Archdiocese diminished, the Cardinal and Gold Fund of Cardinal Hayes High School were able then to fill the gap. Through your support of Forever Hayes, you will ensure the sustainability of Cardinal Hayes High School. Thank you for your support of Cardinal Hayes High School. Up Hayes and all its loyal men.